$1,000 exacta, trifecta, superfecta wagering, and the start of our Pick 6 races.
And it is post time, an excellent field of 9. Dave Miller with a big hold of number 2, Fashion Delight. Actually seesawed him back just a bit, looking to time the gate from the 2-hole as the gate picks up speed, swinging around the turn. Shady Shark Hanover also off the gate a bit, along with Westward Ho Hanover from the rail. Breeders' Crown, they're in the back stretch, $600,000 the purse. Everyone is up and on the gate, and we are ready to roll. And they're off and pacing. Line Officer fires fast from mid-pack for the lead. The whip up on Fashion Delight, and Big Jim involved early for Phil Hudon. He's up into second and pressing for the lead on the outside. Foreclosure slides in neatly fourth. Great Vintage parked on the outside early fifth. Westward Ho Hanover sixth on the inside. Fashion Delight has already pulled the 3-hole under urging, and Big Jim a little bit tough to steer down to the pylons, but he now clears the lead. Immediate pressure coming from Fashion Delight, who zips up on the outside for Dave Miller. 26-4 for the opening quarter. Line Officer third as Fashion Delight goes to the front. Foreclosure with a decision to make is racing in fourth. Great Vintage trying to flush him to the outside, looking for some cover to follow. Westward Ho Hanover is jammed in toward the inside. Shady Shark Hanover is seventh in the developing cover flow. Eighth is Hug a Dragon, and at the back of the pack is Looking for Adventure, who rounds out the field as they circle the turn. Foreclosure did flush out there, first over from the fourth spot. He's up into third, but he's 2 lengths for the lead of Fashion Delight, off a half and 55-3. So it's Fashion Delight as they head onto the backstretch under urging from Dave Miller. Pressure coming from Foreclosure, who quickens up to the leader's wheel there, and Big Jim is right there in the box racing in third. Great Vintage Steppy on the outside. Campbell trying to hold him together. Line Officer is fourth at the rail. Shady Shark Hanover moves up between horses in a tight spot there. Westward Ho Hanover is jammed in. He's seventh on the inside. 1:23 the 3/4 time, and Fashion Delight leads the way as they circle the far turn. Foreclosure trying to hang in there first over. Big Jim waiting for the passing lane, and Shady Shark Hanover is 3 wide for Morrill, and he's closing well on the outside. They're at the top of the stretch. Fashion Delight full out. Big Jim dives to the inside. Shady Shark Hanover on the outside. It's Big Jim at the rail under left-handed pressure, and Big Jim is going to win the Breeders' Crown. Shady Shark Hanover second. Fashion Delight third. Tight for fourth between Westward Ho Hanover and Foreclosure. 1:50-4 the time for the mile.
And Big Jim, Phil Hudon winning that one for James Dean, and boy, he didn't give up. Coming down the stretch here, Big Jim looks solid tonight. 1:50-4. Phil going to work on him right here, last eighth of the mile, but they're not going to catch Big Jim picking up that 5th win, 7-4-2, unofficial.
Track record at Pocono, national seasons record, and another Breeders' Crown record. 1:50-4. Big Jim and Phil Hudon. Just think, if Big Bad John hadn't been scratched, we could have had Big Jim and Big Bad John. Wouldn't that have been a factor? But he was scratched, no factor here.
In the time of 1:50-4, just a fifth of a second off the world record held by Rock and Roll Heaven, set last year when he was a 2-year-old. Top 4 finishers. The winner, number 7, Big Jim. Second, number 4, Shady Shark Hanover. Third, number 2, Fashion Delight. And finishing fourth was number 3, Foreclosure. 7-4, 2-3, unofficial in race 8. So it's Big Jim returning to the winner's circle. Big Jim, bred by Hanover Shoe Farms right here in Pennsylvania. A son of Western Ideal out of Bold Pink by Big Towner. Now 5 for 9 in his career. He's owned by James Carr from Hamilton, Ontario. James Friday Dean is the trainer of Big Jim. And a big win for Phil Hudon, his biggest career victory, coming in the $600,000 Breeders' Crown for the freshman Colt and Gelding Pacers. 1:50-4 the time for the mile. To make the trophy presentation, we welcome Tom Greco, and a lot of you might remember Tom. He was one of the local owners of the great Dragon's Lair, who upset Annihilator in the very first year of the Breeders' Crown. That was at the Meadows back in 1984. We saw the roll-in of that on our pregame show, and a race that Roger Houston says was one of his most exciting that he's ever called and ever seen. in the history of harness racing. Also trackside from the Hambletonian Society, directors Dr. Glenn Brown and Charlie Keller III making the trophy presentation. So it's Big Jim, James Friday Dean, and Phil Hudon, 150-4 to win the Breeders' Crown. Results official. Bob Hollywood Hayden will speak to the winning connections momentarily. In the meantime, here is the complete order of finish top down for the 8th race. Westward Ho Hanover was 5th. Fashion Delight 3rd. Foreclosure was 4th. Shady Shark Hanover 2nd. Hug-a-Dragon 8th. Line Officer 7th. Big Jim, the winner. Great Vintage was 9th, and Looking for Adventure 6th. Rechecking 5-3-4, 287-19, 6 on the bottom, 150-4, just a fifth of a second off the world record. In the 9th race, the Breeders' Crown for the 3-year-old trotting fillies. There are no changes. Exacta, Trifecta, and Superfecta. Post time in 19 minutes.
The Breeders' Crown is in, and Big Jim has done it. Here we are with Jim Carr and Phil Hudon. Big Jim, where do you get the name, by the way?
After me, he's big and he loves to eat just like me.
How did you acquire Big Jim?
I went to Harrisburg looking for an Ontario sired horse, couldn't buy one. I went to Hanover Farms, picked out 2 horses. This was the first one. Put a maximum of $35,000 on them, and that's what I got them for.
Did you expect anything like this?
No. In fact, when we turned him out at the farm, he tore the stall apart. We took him to Florida and turned him out and couldn't catch him for 3 days.
No one can catch him tonight either.
No, he's a pretty nice horse. He's got great manners. Like, you know, you can do anything with him.
You know, a lot of the top drivers, I don't see Phil Hudon's name. I love the loyalty you show to this man right here.
He's a great guy.
Phil Hudon, what does this feel like winning your first Breeders' Crown?
It's unbelievable. I don't think there's anything that can compare to it except for having birth of your children. That's about it.
Tell us what happened in the first turn there. He looked like he had a little problem steering right over here.
Well, he takes a while to get in gear. He's a big horse. He don't like being doubled up too much, so I was kind of iffy about the tool, but it all worked out good.
Here comes Dave Miller with a big move from Fashion Delight. Where were you there, and what kind of trip did you have from there?
Oh, I had a perfect trip. I figured he would definitely take you where you want to go, and it just all worked out. I thought I'd have trouble sitting in the hole, but he's just a good horse, good-mannered, and drives perfect.
Nice combination you guys make. Congratulations, gentlemen. Big Jim has done it. Phil Hudon, the connections, the upset winner here in the Breeders' Crown.
There you go, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
The whip up on Fashion Delight, and Big Jim involved early for Phil Hudon. He's up into second and pressing for the lead on the outside. Foreclosure slides in neatly 4th. Great Vintage parked on the outside early 5th. Westward Ho Hanover 6th on the in.
150 and 4/5.
And Big Jim winning that one over Shady Shark Hanover by a length and 3/4, tick off that world record. The